שכבר עוברים את הגבול, לא יכולים. אנחנו שולחים אחד מהחברים שלנו. אם הוא יכול, אני לא כל פעם יש לו משטרה ביד. אז הוא הולך, אומר, אני גר ברחוב זה וזה, ולא יכול לישון. יש תזמורת שם, אבל לא נותנים לנו לישון עד אור הבוקר. באה המשטרה, רק רואים המשטרה, ידענו שקרה עבול.
رجعوني عينيه لأيام اللي راحوا علمونا ندم على الماضي وجراحه اللي شفته قبل ما تشوفك عينيا عمري ضايع.
החלום שלי, אני אומר לך, דוקי, החלום שלי, אם אתה זוכר, אני אמרתי לך, אני רוצה לעשות פה מופע גדול, חצי נגנים ממצרים, או זמר, אם אפשר, או שניים ממצרים, ונגנים יש לנו, ברוך השם, פה, אני יכול לעשות, לארגן תזמורת גדולה מאוד. אבל חסר לנו שומעי ערבית, באילת, בדימונה, בערד. לא חסר. יבואו מירדן, בעקבה.
A rare glimpse of some of Israel's Arab-Jewish community and their musical tradition. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me again next time here on Witness.
Business Latest is brought to you by Catalum, the most efficient and environmentally friendly aluminium smelter. Business Latest is brought to you by Catalum, the most efficient and environmentally friendly aluminium smelter.
As protests, violence, and the call for political reform spreads across the Arab world, Al Jazeera's in-depth coverage of events on the ground brings you the news as it breaks. Ongoing coverage of the Libya uprising on Al Jazeera.
Rhythms of resistance.
A part of the struggle and popular resistance is art. Through my art, I resist. Resistance is my art, and my art is my war.
Musicians using music as a way to maintain their cultural identity.
I believe that when I sing to the world, I portray Palestine through my voice, my singing, and my songs.
Songs from the lost homeland. At this time, on Al Jazeera.
This is Al Jazeera.
Welcome to the News Hour, live from Doha. I'm Imran Garda from Al Jazeera News Centers here in Doha and Washington. These are the main stories. Preparing for a possible showdown with Libyan government forces as thousands of civilians undergo military training in the city of Benghazi.
I'm Shia Bertansi in Washington. The United Nations General Assembly has suspended Libya from the UN Human Rights Council. Also,
in the years ahead, Libya could become a peaceful democracy, or it could face protracted civil war, or it could descend into chaos.
But US defense officials insist there is no authorization for a military response to the crisis.
Desperate for help, hundreds of thousands flee the violence in Libya, and the UN chief warns of a growing refugee crisis. The caretaker government in Tunisia is under increasing pressure as 3 more ministers resign, including a leading opposition figure. As we go to air, we're getting reports of indiscriminate firing on civilians on the outskirts of Tripoli. Elsewhere in the country, the situation on the ground remains tense. Opposition soldiers in eastern Libya, which is believed to be in the hands of the opposition, are preparing for a possible showdown with forces loyal to the Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. As Dan Nolan reports, thousands of civilians are undergoing military training and readying themselves for battle.
A rebel army prepares for war. At locations across Benghazi, civilians gather for boot camp, learning how to move as a battalion and fire weapons in preparation to march on Libya's capital.
These people are coming here to help our country become free, and they want to defend our land. They will learn how to fight and use weapons to go and liberate Tripoli.
The leaders of these ragtag units springing up across eastern Libya say they already have 5,000 volunteers. Learning to fire military hardware is just part of the job. Ensuring the stockpiles left by Colonel Gaddafi's forces are in working order is also a top priority. Many retired soldiers are overseeing preparations. Teacher and pupil united by a common dream.
All people here are one heart and they believe in one Libya. So there is no way in going back. We're going to finish this job.
The risks these opposition units still face are high, even in the rebel-controlled east. 150 kilometres southwest of Benghazi, anti-government fighters show off a crater they say was caused by Libyan Air Force bombardment on Monday. Nearby is an ammunition depot full of high-powered explosives.
If they manage to drop a bomb on one of these bunkers, the entire area will get wiped out. Residential areas are only 4 or 5 kilometres from here and are home to over 200,000 people.
There's no indication of when this rebel army might move on Tripoli, but a man who served the Libyan leader for the past 4 decades says he knows how it will end for Colonel Gaddafi.
The end will be either committing suicide, which is unlikely as suicide is a sin in Islam, or he may go out with his weapon for others to kill him, he and his rifle, in a bloody, fatal confrontation against huge force. The second scenario is much more likely to happen, almost 90%.
A sign of what's to come, perhaps, at Benghazi's central prison. Most of the jail has been looted and torched.